Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Luke Ness Monster, back again with another Black Series review. This is my review of the Black Series Clone Wars Kamino Clone Trooper, and this is number 1 in the new style box. It is obviously based off the Clone Wars TV show, and it is a brand new mold for the trooper, and it looks really, really good. And it is the first figure I actually have in the new style box. Of course, the new style box is color coded by media now, and it has this amazing artwork on the side. That's one thing I do have to give to the new box. It looks very, very clean, and it looks really, really good. I love the artwork on the side. Then the back, we have some more artwork with the bio. You can pause and read it if you'd like to. We have a nice yellow stripe on the side where it says Black Series at the bottom, and then back to the front. I do really like this, the box art on this. The one thing I don't like about the box is the shape. It does have this weird wedge on the side, and it makes it kind of hard for displaying the figures like I like. I actually have this figure wall in the background where I stack them all up on the wall, but with the new box like this, if I stack it up, it would end up being like this, and there'd be a weird gap in between it, and it would look just strange. So I don't know if I'm going to start putting these new style boxes on the wall. Eventually, I want to get a display case to put all my figures in, so the wall might disappear eventually. But for right now, it is still here. And yeah, new thing that's different about this box, it does have the window on the top. That is actually back in like the early red box days of the Black Series, and they're bringing it back for this, and I'm fine with that. It looks really good. So, yeah, let's get this figure open and see what he looks like. So we have the Kamino Clone Trooper out of the box here, and he looks amazing. So far, right away, he is on the new clone body, of course, and he looks really, really good. At first, I wasn't sure how I thought about the body, but having it in hand, it looks really, really good. One thing you might notice, though, it's actually not like the shiny plastic like all the other ones are. It is the dull matte plastic, kind of like the Commander Cody. And this is because it is the mold based off of the Clone Wars, and all the Clone Wars stuff is not shiny like that. So that is why that is not shiny, and I think it looks really good. It suits the character quite well. We will get a close-up on the figure in a few seconds, but if you guys didn't know, this figure does have a head mold underneath, and I think that's really interesting. It's a little disappointing that they didn't just paint the head and make it a removable helmet, but that does give hope that some more of the clone troopers in the future will have removable helmets, and that could be a standard for all clone troopers, and I think that'd be a really, really good thing to do, and it definitely bring us back to the older days of the clone troopers, whenever every single clone trooper did have a removable helmet. So I do hope for that. But anyway, let's get a close-up of the figure. So we do have the close-up of the clone trooper here, and this is the helmet mold based off of the Clone Wars, so it doesn't have the black stripe above the visor, and I think it looks really good. I think that it is interesting that they're going to the new style, because before, even if they were Clone Wars characters, they would still be movie based. Like you can see, Rex and Fox in the background are still on the movie body and are movie accurate. And so it's interesting seeing them go to the new body with the Clone Wars style and everything. And I'm really happy about this, because I think it looks really good, and it makes this some of these clone troopers look a lot better. But I just hope they do end up remaking all the old Clone Wars figures on the new body, just to see what they would look like compared to the older figures. So I do really hope they would do that. And anyway, so we have the clone trooper here. You can flip it around, and we have the amazing logo on the side. It looks great. I think it's definitely one of the cooler parts of the figure, and you can also see a great detail of the side of the helmet there, and it looks really, really good. Turn it around to the back. There's not a whole lot of paint on the helmet and or on the back of the figure, really, but you do have like the weird like back plate thing that all the clone troopers have, and I think it looks really good. Flip it around to the other side again. We do have that same logo, and if we pan down a little bit, we do have some gray stripes on the biceps, and it looks really good. One thing about this figure, it does have single jointed elbows now, which means there aren't any pins in the arms or legs. So as you can clearly tell in the arms, there's no pins for reference. uh, you can clearly see that Fox there has pins in the bicep and the forearm. So that's one thing I do like about the new Clone Trooper is there's no pins and it looks very very good and visually pleasing. We flip it to the front. Another thing that's different about this figure is since it is Clone Wars style, the like chest or like the ab area is a lot bigger than the normal figure. So if we bring up Rex here, as you can clearly tell, that area that is like in between right there and like right there, it's much bigger on that trooper. And I think it again, that's more based off the Clone Wars style figure, and it looks really good. We pan down to the legs and it just looks really good. As you can tell, the belt is pretty much the same, but if we go farther down to the legs, the feet molds are different, but I do believe the ankle molds are pretty close to the same. Anyway, let's get a comparison of the like two different clone troopers together. So we have the three different types of clone troopers here. We have Gree, which is on the original clone body, Rex, which is on the Rex body, and then the Kamino clone trooper, which is on the new clone body. So first of all, let's go over just visual looks. Of course, I already mentioned this in the beginning, but the ab area is a bit bigger on the Clone Wars body, with the other two very very small. That actually allows it to have a whole lot more like ab articulation, so you can get a whole lot more of that swivel in right there, to where these guys don't have very much. Other than that, you guys can actually tell with the helmets. At least Rex compared to Gree, Rex's helmet is quite big, but comparing Rex's helmet to the Kamino clone troopers, it's actually very well scaled, and that is because of the head sculpt underneath the Kamino clone troopers helmet, and that's one thing I like, that they are both in scale now, so that looks really good. Arm articulation, so shoulder wise, Grease can actually go out about that far, not very much, compared to Rex, who can go out like that. And then instead of going into the shoulder socket, his arm is pliable, his shoulder pad is pliable, and it can go over the shoulder, and his can go out like Rex's that far. So shoulder articulation is just about the same. Now let's go to elbow articulation. Put that back down and turn him this way. Grease can go like a little bit, like pretty much right at 90. Kamino clone trooper can go a little bit farther than 90. And then I just knocked them all down. Okay, that's nice. And then Rex can get the full like 45 degrees. So I definitely think articulation-wise, Rex has to get the Rex body has to get the win. But for like accuracy, I definitely have to give it to the Clone Wars body, only because it's very accurate to the Clone Wars TV show compared to where Rex is on the movie body. So for that, I do have to give to the Kamino Clone Trooper. So let's get a close look at the Kamino Clone Trooper's accessories. So the Kamino Clone Trooper does come with two accessories. He comes with the long rifle and then the normal standard blaster. The thing about these weapons, we've seen them 100 times, but the thing is these are actually new molds to go with the new Kamino Clone Trooper. So first looking at the rifle, this is the old one on bottom compared to the new one on top. So the old one is actually longer, and that's interesting. I don't think it really matters. They both look pretty much identical except for that. There's a few pieces here and there that are a little bit different. I know that the new one is a little bit thinner, like this ways. It's a little bit thinner. So it'll definitely bend a little bit more if you bend it, but it's still thick enough to where it's not going to bend a whole lot unless you intentionally bend it. So other than that, this one's pretty good. There's a few more details on like the handle of the gun. It's probably hard to see on camera, but the new one has like a gritty texture to it on on the handle, where the old one is just smooth. So taking those off, now looking at the blasters. The blasters are actually a whole lot more different than I thought they were. So looking at a side profile, they look pretty much the same. As you can tell, the top one is a little bit smaller, but not a whole lot. Where the big change comes in is actually the bottom of the blaster. So looking at the new one, you can tell there's not much depth to like the little stock at the front. There's not much depth to that when looking at the new one. There's actually a lot of, or the old one, I mean, I'm sorry, this is the Fox one. And there's a lot of depth, and the problem with this is it bends really easy, and it just sucks because it would always bend too much, and like as you can see, mine's just warped from it being bent, and I definitely think that the new blaster is going to look a lot better because of that. So let's go to my final thoughts on the figure. So overall, I do really like the Kamino Clone Trooper. I think that the single jointed elbows give enough range to where it's actually usable compared to the old clone body, which is just pretty much impossible to get stance. So I actually do really like the new articulation. It's not as good as the Rex body, but it is still really good. And this is more accurate to the Clone Wars TV show, so I really expect to get all Clone Wars figures in the future on this body. Other than that, accessories are great, and I love the new additions, like with the new molds and stuff. I think they look really good, and they fit the trooper very well. The only problem I really did have with this is that they didn't paint the head underneath, and honestly, I'm not going to take anything away from that because they didn't need to do that, and all it's really doing is setting us up for some more stuff in the future. So I'm not going to take any points. I'm not going to take any points away from that, and I'm going to give this Fine Trooper a 5 out of 5. He definitely is one of my favorite clone troopers that I have now, and I'm really excited to get the 332nd. I believe those are supposed to come out like 1st of October is whenever Walmart is supposed to ship those. So hopefully that review should be out in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that, and if you guys didn't know, I am doing a giveaway on the channel at 500 subscribers. I'm giving away one of those Kamino Clone Troopers. I don't have the other one in the mail yet, but once that comes in at 500, I will be giving it away. So we just hit around 200 a few days ago, so we are about 300 away, and any subscription gets us just a little bit closer, so please hit that subscribe button down below, and stay tuned for my other videos on the channel. I do Ask Luke Ness Monsters on Tuesday, where you guys ask me a question in the comment section, and I will try to answer it in the next week's episode. And I also do news videos on the channel. If there's any Black Series or Vintage Collection news in like the Star Wars realm, I will try to cover it on the channel, and you guys will see it first from me. So again, hit that subscribe button for amazing Star Wars content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.